2024 already looks like another great year for roller coasters, but there are a handful of existing attractions that are getting revamped in some form. From new theming to complete overhauls, these are all of 2024's reassessed roller coasters. First, let's go to the UK where two 1994 classics are each getting brand new experiences, Nemesis at Alton Towers and Shockwave at Drayton Manor. Shockwave is Europe's only remaining stand-up coaster. It has offered a rather thrilling and unique ride for Staffordshire residents over the past few decades. However, to make Shockwave a more accessible ride, it will be closing at the end of October to undergo a rename, retheme, and receive new sit-down trains. While this does take away from the coaster's unique experience, this will lower the height requirement from 1.4 meters to 1.2 meters. Drayton Manor is likely doing this to maintain a primarily family park image. Overall, this revision is pretty big news for the park and it should not be overlooked. And of course, for Alton Towers' most iconic coaster, Nemesis. Since it opened almost 30 years ago, millions of people have ridden and raved about the coaster's intensity and the design that makes you feel like
your feet are gonna crack against the rock.
But in late 2022, it was confirmed that Nemesis would be undergoing a major makeover and retrack in the form of an epic phalanx announcement. The coaster's track work has pretty much been completed, rocking an amazing black and red vein color scheme. Unfortunately, Nemesis will have its supports filled with sand. This means that the iconic roar will not be as prominent as it once was. However, the ride is, without a doubt, going to be running better than ever for its 30th operating season. Now let's go overseas to the US of A, where a maintenance nightmare will hopefully get the fix it needs once and for all. Lightning Rod is the world's first and only launched wooden roller coaster. Or was. The ride has been notorious to both the public and the park for seemingly endless downtime since it opened in 2016. The launch has been tweaked, slowed down, and this RMC-built attraction has even gotten RMC'd. However, the poor maintenance crew of Dollywood might finally be catching a break. Lightning Rod will be closing at the end of October for train replacements and for replacing the launch with a chain lift. This lift hill will span the entire summit, unlike the launch, which ends about 3/4 of the way up. Furthermore, the park has promised that this modification won't affect the rest of the ride, and it will still reach its top speed of 73 miles per hour. While it is unfortunate that the ride is losing its world's only status, this Lightning Rod revision will hopefully increase the overall uptime so we can actually get a ride or two on any given trip to Dollywood. Let's travel to the East Coast now, where the world's most beautiful theme park is investing into their oldest operating coaster. The Loch Ness Monster is the first and only operating coaster that contains interlocking loops. And for over 45 years, it's been one of the smoothest coasters produced by defunct manufacturer Aerodynamics. But in 2024, a major retrack and refurbishment will be taking place on the classic, including new thematic elements. What I hope this means is that Busch Gardens is retracking most, if not all, of the ride. Also, they could be returning the tunnel theming that was removed after the 90s. This basically consisted of sound effects and lighting that showed the serpent's body and head. Now, if either one of those returned, I would literally jump for joy, but we will have to wait and see what plans they have in terms of new theming. There is one more question that does need answers. Who is supplying the track for the retrack? Well, American manufacturer S&S Sansei did supply the trains for Nessie's 40th year of service, and it is likely that the current trains will get replaced as well. Also, track is already on site, and it's likely being fabricated by S&S. Remember, they are the people most associated with refurbishing Aero's coasters as well as continuing to build their 40 coaster model, so I can definitely see them working on this restoration. As for the restoration itself, I'm very excited for it, and I'm glad to see that Nessie is getting the investment she deserves, and hopefully we get a smoother experience and some more awesome theming. And last but not least, we travel to America's Rock and Roller Coast to see what's happening with Top Thrill 2. For those who may not know much about this project, this will be a reimagining of the iconic Top Thrill dragster after the infamous accident that took place in 2021. On top of the fact that this whole ride was a maintenance travesty, Cedar Point closed it without any word of the ride's future. Many rumors later, it has been confirmed that Zamperla is taking on this huge project. They will be retrofitting the hydraulic launch with a linear synchronous motor, or LSM launch. Not only that, but they will be giving the ride a reverse spike and some new trains. The max height and top speed will remain the same, and I'm pretty pumped for how this ride will turn out. Now, how far has the crew gotten in the construction process? Well, in Cedar Point's latest episode of their construction series, Go check it out, it's super cool. You can see that Sountrack for the Spike has gone in on top of significant progress on the paint job and other ride components. So far, this attraction has become the most anticipated coaster opening next year for all of the wrong reasons. But I'm optimistic that Zamperla and Cedar Point will give a proper revision of the legendary Top Thrill Dragster. Except for that stupid name. So that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and let me know down below which coaster revisions you're most looking forward to. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more weekly coaster content. Signing off for now, this has been Storm, and I'll see you coaster lovers next time.